clients for life. And so this is a process, just because I used to think that I just did a really great job, and so I'm gonna get so many referrals because of how good of a real estate agent I am. And what you'll realize is that no one cares how good you are, really. If you did a good job, thanks, what have you done for me lately? They have a million things going on in their own life, and they're gonna forget about you. So you have to create systems around past clients, and that's what we're gonna focus on today, is past clients, not necessarily sphere of influence, but past clients. You've got to set systems around past clients so that you can stay top of mind, provide value so they remember who you are. I saw this stat, I got it from Tom Ferry, but I could not find the actual stat, so I'm going to trust Tom Ferry here. 75% of clients said they would use their real estate agent again, but only 12% do. So there's a huge gap in there between when it closed and they were satisfied and when they're ready to buy or sell again. There's a big gap, a disconnect. For some reason, people aren't remembering, or they meet someone else or whatever. So you gotta stay top of mind to get that business. or their brother or sister gets licensed, right? Yeah, that's right. So going back, if you were here January, we talked about 3 lead pillars to build a balanced business. First one's cold outbound. Second one was paid inbound. We're gonna be focusing on the third one, sphere of influence and past clients. Sphere of influence is really what the pillar is, but we're gonna zoom in on past clients. These should be your greatest source of referrals. These are people who know you in a real estate capacity. They trusted you to do their deal. You hopefully had a successful deal. I have some clients that we don't talk anymore, right? Because they're just like, but most people, if it was a successful deal, they know you and trust you, and they've worked with you, and they know you do a good job. These are the people who should be giving you referrals. For me, my sphere, my friends, family, I didn't get a lot of referrals from them in my first 2 years. All referrals I got were from cold clients that I captured, and then they liked me and referred me out. So if you're new to town, hadn't been here real long, don't have a huge sphere in Oklahoma City, go out, convert cold clients, and then turn them into your sphere, turn them into your past clients to get referrals. So again, treat past clients like any other lead and create systems around them. When it comes to sphere of influence or referrals, people just kind of think I'm going to post on social media, or I'm going to talk to friends occasionally, or whatever it might be, and leads are going to flow in. Just like anything else, if you don't address something or if you don't do something, you're not going to get any results. Whatever is tracked improves, if you've ever heard that too. Create systems around what you want to achieve, and then you're going to get results. So if you just close a deal, put someone on a drip campaign and forget about them forever, very low probability they're going to come back. Versus if you reach out to them accordingly, create systems around reminding them who you are and what you do, which is what we're going to talk about. So just like you have a process, if you have a buyer client come in, or a seller client or a seller lead, just like you have a process for leads coming in, you need to have a process for past clients. And so that's what we're going to jump into. So what we're going to be talking about is, these are kind of the 3 main things we're going to go through to really outline, really systematize your past client referrals. First is the closing gift, very important. It's so silly, but I'm shocked at how many agents don't buy closing gifts. And then what they get, Corey's one of them apparently. And so it's the easiest way to have an impact and remind them who you are the whole time they own that house, if you do it properly. A closing booklet or a book. This is something I started doing towards the end of my production, while I was in production. I didn't do it for the bulk of it, but it always had a huge impact, and it provides value in a couple different ways, and I'll go over that. And then post-closing follow-up sequence. This is kind of obviously the most important. Just like anything else we do, FSBOs, open houses, whatever, what you actually do in the conversion part, or like the meeting part, is like 10% of whether you're gonna have success or not. 90% of the success is gonna come in the follow-up. Fortune's in the follow-up. So even if you are like Corey and don't buy closing gifts, and you don't give them a closing book, if you just stay on top of people over the years, it's gonna work, right? So follow-up's gonna be the most important, but these kind of set the tone for that. So I break the follow-up sequence into 2 pieces. First is how do you communicate with them in the first 12 months? And then how do you communicate with them 12 months beyond? Because I think you should separate them. Okay, closing gifts, very simple. Does anyone have a cool, unique closing gift they like to give to clients that is just like, they think is great? Cindy?
Okay, so I only do this for certain clients, but if they've lived in the home forever, then I get it on Etsy that you give them a picture of the MLS photo
No, there's a leak. Go on.
If it's like their family home that their kids are growing up in, you go on Etsy and you can get an artist to do like a painting
Yeah.
or a replica and
Yeah.
put it in a frame, and their address and the time that they live there and they live there.
Yeah. Would you? So I've done that. I've done it like I think twice, and I didn't love either one of them. Yeah, I just didn't. I think the person I used, or it was like a fake watercolor. It wasn't real. So if you have a, would you send me that person? Because I think that's such a cool. Because I did do that, and with one client, and it was a friend of mine, and I went over and they have it displayed in their house. And so I think that's a cool idea. The more custom you get it, yeah.
It just sounds kind of lame, but everybody I've done it with loves it, and they're about $80, and they're very classy. They're cookie jars, and they're big, and they're ceramic, and they can put all the names of pets, grandchildren, special dates, and you can. And I've asked all my clients, could you please send me your names of your grandkids, your children, your pets, blah blah, and I don't tell them why.
Yeah.
And then I'm closing, I hand it, and I've gotten so many thank you notes.
Yeah.
It's easy.
That's good. Yeah, the more you can customize them,
Yes.
makes it more impactful. Yeah.
Colors and style.
I started doing that address.
Oh, I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Melissa, this is a good one because the 2 times I've moved, and then as the companies I've moved, I've gotten those. So address stamps, like the designed address stamps that have your name or logo or something, it's better than writing your return address. So yeah. Yeah, so I like those. The thing I struggle with, so here was my, and I'm gonna walk through like a process for this in future slides, but my problem was, I was in high production for a little while, and you're getting appraisals back like a week before closing, you're fighting TRRs right up until the closing day, and it's like, how do I would forget closing gifts all the time. About half the time I would forget a closing gift. Forget to order, and I have to go deliver it afterwards. So it's so impactful giving it to them the closing day. It's great giving it to them after as well. But even if you forget, buy one, take it after. You can laugh and giggle and say, hi, I wasn't sure if we were gonna get it done, so I didn't, here it is now, whatever. But even if you don't get it, but going through, Resonate Gift Marketing, if anyone's used them, they do a good job getting stuff like in a 48-hour turnaround. They do a lot of customization. And my problem was, I would procrastinate on what I thought was a good idea to give them. I'd use certain things for a certain while. I finally got to a point where I was just getting branded Yetis because I could get 15 of them at a time and I don't have to think about it. I could literally grab one on my way to closing. But it didn't have anything customized to them, so they probably just went in the back of their shelf and they never use it ever again. So as you create gifts, these are kind of the things you want. I want it to be personal. I want it to be really, really relevant to them. Postable, I'd say this is because I think it might be cool if your client posts on social media, oh my gosh, love this, right? Something that's postable. Functional, meaning they're gonna keep it around, because if they just get it and throw it away, it's useless. You want it to be in their house right up until the time they call you again. And then decorative helps a lot too. One thing I did for a bulk of my sales was bamboo cutting boards with their name on the front, my name on the back. In almost every single, or you could say, maybe my name on the front, theirs on the back. It doesn't matter. But they were, you could display them in bookshelves, kitchens, behind your oven, stove, whatever. So almost every past client that called me back to come out and relist, I would go out and it was displayed in their house. So it was there, it worked. So the more you can make it decorative and functional, it's gonna stick around in their house more. Like I said, for a while there, I was getting so busy, I was so mad that I didn't have them, I just bought bulk. It just said my brokerage engraved on a Yeti. And it was cool, I liked it, but they probably don't, they're probably all gone now. So did you have something like that?
So what I typically do is I forget before the last day also, I just run into Marshalls or Ross and get a little wicker basket for like $6 and then think of really personal items too.
Yeah, to kind of build things together.
Take all the stickers off and then they think it's like a gas.
Yeah, I did do that. I went into Blue 7, if anyone's familiar with Blue 7, and I had a client moving from Seattle to Oklahoma, and so they have a bunch of Oklahoma stuff, like branded and shaped, and so I went in there and got a bag or a box, put a bunch of stuff in it, walked out of there, spent like $350. I was like, this is what I get for. Luckily, it was a big sale. So So the more you can, so this, when we're creating closing gifts, try to stay inside this, and that's what's gonna give it the most impact, so it's not just a wasted 50 or 100 bucks, right? You want it to stick around, you want it to be postable, personal, functional, and decorative. So how much to spend? Logan at Resonate gave me this little math problem. I think it's about right when I look at it, so this is kind of what it comes out to. So if you're going $500,000 or up, you're $200 to $400 on a price. If you're in the median range of $250 to $300, you're $100 or so. It's a very reasonable amount of money to spend. I think if you're making $9,000, we can give $100 back to the client. So think of it like that. And this is an investment into marketing. You have to think of it like that as well. It's a thank you gift, but it's like giving them a sign or a business card that they're gonna stick in their house somewhere for the next couple of years. So that's kind of what you wanna, when we're doing closing gifts. Any questions on closing gifts? Again, a lot of this training today is not gonna be terribly complicated. It's about creating systems and processes around it, because so many of us just kind of react at this point in the closing, like, oh crap, closing day, go to Marshall's, crap, go to Blue 7, crap, grab a Yeti with my name on it. So it's really about creating systems and processes, being strategic and intentional about what you're doing to get clients.
You may want to check with your own personal tax advisor, but put your name on it, an advertisement, and now it's an advertisement expense, not a gift expense.
Yeah, right. There's obviously, if you're spending, if you're spending quite a bit of money, if you're spending thousands of dollars on this a year, then you want to make sure it's in the right, it's in the right category for sure. Yeah, I put it in there anyway. Let the government tell me if I'm wrong. They got their hands full. Okay. Closing check, or the closing booklet. So this is, again, it's another thing that I hope stays in their house forever, that they refer back and look at often with my information on it. So we want a couple things. I'll click on the template here and kind of show you what I have. I have a pre-built one here that I'm putting out onto our website. It's a template. Agent can go into and modify it, change it, do whatever they want. But you want a move-in checklist, just reminders to do stuff, trusted vendors, inspections, report and mechanical details, and then thank you and referral page. So I'm gonna pull up our little template and kind of walk through it. So what I did, the couple times I did it, I had mine bound. There's I don't know what you call it, a book binder, a bounder in Edmond, who gave me like a 3-day turnaround, and it was like $18. And it was a actual booklet, so it looks a little more professional, glossy cover, blah blah blah. But you can just print this off and put it in the front of a 1/2-inch binder, and then get a 3-hole punch and put it in a binder. Accomplishes the same thing. So this is the cover page. It's again real specific, picture of the house, address, my information. This is per booklet, yeah. But there's a lot of time in creating that booklet because you have to move the PDFs around. It's a lot more complicated than just printing it. So this is kind of this is an alternative cover page if you want it to look a little fancier. So it's just kind of a silly little intro page. Then the new homeowner checklist, it's just kind of things that when you're moving in, maybe you remember, maybe you don't. Transfer your utilities, go to USPS and do a forwarding address for your name. If you're getting Social Security or VA stuff, remember to go there and change your address. Just like a checklist for them to go through to be like, oh, I forgot to do that, or oh, I forgot to do that. So a little bit of value. Maybe they look at it, maybe they don't. And then we start going through the trusted vendors. And so there's 3 pages of trusted vendors. And so if you don't have them, delete that piece off when you're doing yours. But I put a couple in here and then I just stopped because I didn't want to go through my phone anymore. But when I was creating this, but contact name, number, phone number. Call them. If you don't have a trim carpenter, go onto the Facebook page, ask, find someone, call them, say I'm a real estate agent, I'd love to put you in my vendor book. They're gonna say great. All this stuff. So kind of go find roofers, foundation, gutters, garage door. The more you can put in there, the more valuable a resource it feels to them when they open it and look at it. And hopefully they continue to go back to it. Each summer when they need to service their HVAC, they call your HVAC guy. Whenever they have problems, they just start going to your people and you become the real estate resource for them. And that's how you provide value. So we have vendors. I input the inspection report here. And the reason I do it is because it has photos of all the serial numbers on it. It has you know, like this specific one, it was well, water, and septic. It's got the DEQ reports and drawings of where the water lines and sewer lines are on the property, all that stuff that they might want to look back at some point. If there's something, you know, a lot of things on inspection reports aren't necessarily need to be repaired, but they're like, what do they say, seller to monitor these things. You can see images of the time of the inspection and what it looked like. So if I'm looking at it now and it's way worse than what it looks like, maybe we take action on it. You know, so it's a snapshot in time of the condition of the home that they can refer back to, because they're not going to have that in their email probably. I've had several clients reach back out to me in the past asking for a copy of their inspection report. Then we've got notes about our house. You can use this section to track repairs and updates you've done on the house. So if I service the HVAC, I put that and put the date, just a way to, you know, thing for them to go through. And then I have 2 options of a thank you referral page. You can build your own, but these are just kind of pre-built ones that I've seen and I liked. Basically says, thank you, give me referrals. You know, that's essentially what it's gonna say. Here's a little different one. You can got Google review link, Zillow review link, Facebook review link, your Instagram handles. Same thing. It's just a way to say thank you so much for working with me and trusting me. Please send me referrals. And that's the booklet. And so kind of going back to this piece, I want it to be personable, postable, functional, and decorative. I want them to keep that around because most homeowners don't know an HVAC guy, an electrician, a lawn guy, a fence guy, a pool guy, maintenance guy, handyman, roofer. They don't know those people. And so they're gonna go to Yelp or Google or some Facebook page with 20,000 people in it. They'd probably rather go to you who has a trusted referral. So little things you can put in there to help them keep it and stick around. The inspection report, they're gonna want that at some point probably in the future, so it just causes them to keep it. And that's why when I made it, I didn't do 8.5 by 11. I did, I don't know what that would have been. I don't know, I did it smaller. And so it's kind of like everyone's got a junk drawer with menus in it and stuff like that, right? And so it kind of just stays in there until you need it. That was the purpose. But a book, a binder, all accomplishes the same thing. Questions on that? Has anyone done anything like this before, or give out preferred vendors or anything to clients? Like every time, like here's my guys, here's my girls, here's my referrals. It's a great resource. You want to be known as the real estate referral resource. Whatever you need, they want to come to. If they think of anything about the house or the home or the market or anything, they have to think of you. And so this is another way to reinforce that. And whenever you guys get, I'm going to send this slideshow out. All the links obviously take you to what you need. So the book, the booklet, I think I wouldn't use it as the closing gift. I think it in conjunction with the closing gift is where it's more valuable. Okay, post-closing sequence. So this is kind of what we say, how we say, when we say, the purpose of saying it, and how to kind of automate it. We're going to talk about a couple different softwares as well. So we want to provide value. This is the purpose of this. We want to provide value, solicit referrals, plant seed for future business, and then we're going to talk about the first year sequence and then the 1+ year sequence. So the purpose of this, the reason why I have a different sequence in year 1 is the first 90 to 180 days someone has moved into their house, they're talking about real estate all the time. They're talking about their move, they're talking about how great it was, how bad it was, how stressful it was, how they're buying furniture, how they're doing this and that and that. Everyone they're talking to, 50% of their conversations are about this process. And so when you're talking about real estate, there's a higher probability that someone else is going to say, we're thinking about moving, or yeah, we have our house in the market, or we're in the market to buy a house. As you talk about real estate, you're just churning up more real estate conversations. Does that make sense? So you want to hit them more frequently in the first 180 days, because that's when they're going to have the highest likelihood of a referral to give you. Make sense? So that's why we have a different sequence in the first year, in different conversations in the first year than we do in years beyond. So you want to hit them up. Obviously, closing day, closing gift, closing booklet. Thank you so much. Loved working with you. If there's anything you need, call me right away. First week, you want to have a special outreach. First month, special outreach. 6 month, special outreach. And then 1 year anniversary special outreach. And then some extra days is their birthday. And if year end comes, at some point year end will come in that first year. So it's another separate conversation. So I'm going to talk about each reach out. So the first week reach out, it's about building rapport, reminding them that you still care. My check cleared and I still care about you, right? Because that we do, hopefully. Thanks for the commission. Don't lose my number. So you want to text or call. Hey Brett, just popping in. How's the new home treating you? You guys tired of moving and cleaning yet? Haha, LOL. We're just reaching out. How's the house? How's everything going? How's it looking? What can I help with? So the value shows you're thinking of them without an agenda. I already got paid, so I got no other agenda to talk to you. Referral prompts, we're not gonna ask for any referrals at this point. I'm literally just seeing how the move-in was. Did you get utilities on? Did anything break? What can I help with? Month one, kind of a similar thing, but we're gonna start to offer more value in referrals and we're gonna start asking for business. So another quick text or a voicemail. Hey Brett, just so you know, something always breaks in the first month of living in a new home. Do you guys need any referrals for any updates or repairs? So has anyone got calls from their client like, hey, I just moved in and my heating and air stopped working. My plumbing's backing up. Something always, when a new home moves in, or when you move into a new home with new habits and new people and new whatever, kids versus no kids, or all that stuff breaks every single time. So I call my clients and say that, hey, something always breaks in the first month or two. So if you need anything, any updates, anything like that, let me know. So value, we're being their go-to real estate resource. Again, if anything does happen, don't forget to refer back to that booklet I got you at closing. It's got all my trusted people. If you have any trouble with them, let me know, or if you have anything else I can help with, let me know. Referral prompt. So you want this to kind of be a conversation, a little bit of a back and forth. Did you raise your hand?
I was just gonna say, in your booklet, you could put the homestead exemption page, and this is the perfect time to, in the call, tell them, hey, don't forget.
Print it out. Have one printed out in there. Will someone text me that so I can add that? No, it's good, because it's an easy page you can put in there. They can just mail it in. Yeah, just text me homestead exemption, please. Yes, good. Yeah, another touch point. That's all this is. It's providing value and touch points, because you want them to say, oh yeah, thank you so much for reaching out, Brett. I was just talking to my neighbor, blah, blah, blah. Here, they're ready. Or my sister came over and they love it and they're thinking about moving into the neighborhood. Melissa had one where her brother-in-law of a client is gonna try to move into the same neighborhood after they close. So these are the conversations you're trying to capture. And then a referral prompt is, if you know anyone else looking to make a move, I would love to help them out. Really enjoyed working with you. Another thing I always like to say, flattery works a lot with anyone. And you could say, I know awesome people know other awesome people. And so if you have anyone looking, I'd love to meet with them. And so that kind of thing, you're just asking for referrals. They have to know. 6-month follow-up. Again, text, maybe a social media DM as you back further away. But this is something I used a bunch on clients in the first year as just a way. Super simple. Hey, just drove by your neighborhood while I was showing another client a home and thought of you guys. Just wanted to say hi, hope you're doing well. You show houses all over town, drove right by your neighborhood, thought about you guys. That's all it is. Another option is, hey, I drove by your old house. Looks like the new owners are taking great care of it. Thought about you guys, hope you're doing well. Whatever it is, we're touching base, we're talking about, but here you can kind of talk about their new home or their old home. Again, values, we're just rapport building after the sale, providing service. And then again, if anyone you know is thinking of moving soon, send them my way. I'd love to help. Letting them know. Remember, they're having dozens of conversations a week about real estate. We're trying to stay in front of them. That's all it is. Don't overthink what you say or how you say it. It's that you say it is all that matters. You have to be there when there's low-hanging fruit in their head. 12-month closing. Again, text, social media DM. Can't believe it's been a year since you moved. Hope you guys are still loving it. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need anything at all. Celebrates them, keeps it personal. Again, the prompt, if anyone pops up needing a hand with the move, I hope I'm your guy, your gal, whatever. Just another opportunity to say happy anniversary, congrats, can't believe it's been a whole year. You can go into, have you guys made the repair that you said you were gonna do? Did you install the pool yet? I got invited out by a client just recently to come look at the pool they installed in their house. So follow up relevantly to the situation, all that stuff. Another good opportunity just as an extra, so let me go on here. So the repeat business seed, this is kind of when I start putting the repeat business seed. First year, they're not gonna sell a house anytime soon. Very, very unlikely, right? So don't ask if we can help them sell their house anytime soon. It's about other people, it's about how it's going. Once you get beyond the first year, you can just kind of start setting that expectation, but this is where I don't like putting them on drip campaigns in the first year because I'm already touching them 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, hopefully, if I'm doing a good job. So a drip campaign is just silly, and it's one, they didn't ask to be in it, and two, I'm already talking to them and it's not valuable to them because it's not relevant because they just move. So it's easy to go into the unsubscribe or the ignore or the junk bucket, in my opinion. So I like to get permission to put them on a drip campaign after the first year. So, hey, I know you're still light years away from considering another move, but I've got a great tool that tracks your home value and equity. It's just a monthly or quarterly email, so you can refer to it when you want and you can ignore it when you don't. You mind if I plug you into it? It's a tool. It's a cool tool I just found. You want in it or not, right? That's what we're saying. That's kind of what we're doing. They're gonna say, sure. You know, everyone wants to know what their equity is. So no drip campaign the first year. Try to get approval. Approval will increase the likelihood that they don't unsubscribe to it and they actually refer to it, open it, read it, see what it is. And so there's different softwares we're going to talk about in a second. But drip camp, it's a simple touch point to stay in front of them, recurring. But now they have given you permission to send it to them instead of you just adding it to them naturally. Like, again, I don't like all those ones that are like, it's spring, don't forget to clean out the closets and stuff like that. I just don't think those are super, super valuable. And then some extra contacts. Again, you want to, on their birthday, a couple of easy things is just a birthday text. Happy birthday. That's it. Happy birthday, Evan. Exclamation point, party balloon, whatever you want to do. But I don't have any funny birthday memes. I'll let you guys find them. I'm sure there's plenty online, depending on what your relationship is with your client. But send birthday text or voicemail. One thing I thought was super interesting, Michael Mayer, if anyone's read 7 Levels of Communication, I went and saw him speak years ago, and he talked about, he's huge on referrals. He talked about dropping voicemails the day before their birthday. So if you guys know how to do a voicemail drop where it doesn't actually ring, it just goes straight to their voicemail, you can pre-record it. He'll just say, hey Grayson, I know tomorrow's your birthday, but I'm slammed all day tomorrow and I didn't want to miss a chance to say happy birthday. Sorry I missed you. Hope everything's doing great. But you're the first one to wish them happy birthday because it's not even their birthday yet. And you're proactively wishing it because you're so busy, you're thinking about them and you wanted to get out first. So I thought it was a really cool, really impactful way to do that. I thought it was kind of cool. But you can just record it and then drop it to them through Slide Dial is the individual non-commercial one. So I thought that was a cool idea. Or just the birthday text is, don't birthday post on their Facebook wall is useless. Everyone does that. They're not going to see it. A text or a voicemail is significantly more impactful. And then year end, we talked about this a little bit last time. Most people don't keep their settlement statement, and their tax guy will tell them they need their settlement statement so they can see what they paid in closing costs, what they can write off and all that stuff. So, hey, most tax preparers around this time of year ask for this, but a lot of buyers don't hold on to it, so I just wanted to forward it and give you a copy of it. Let me know if you have any questions about it, something like that. So another piece of value, another touch point, another reminder. And then for birthdays, this is something I did a while back. I don't know if anyone else know you can edit your home screen and put people's birthdays on it. So I'm terrible, Tiara and I were talking about this yesterday. I'm terrible at like just being a good friend and like reaching out to people. I have to like create systems around being a good friend because I don't think about it enough. So this is how I stay in touch with a lot of clients and friends is I see where their birthday is. So you can go edit your home screen and add whoever's birthday it is today, pops up here. And so I click it every morning, see whose birthday it is. Send text messages out right away, and then I plan them to be sent out.
So you have to put that in your calendar then for all?
No, it connects with Facebook. What? Your phone connects with Facebook and puts your friends' Facebook birthdays on your, it's crazy. So if you have to have an iPhone. I'm sure Androids do it too, but I only know how to do it on an iPhone. So just like you're gonna edit your screen, you hold it down, and then you could click a button that says add widgets. And I can put my weather, you can put upcoming meet, you can put a bunch of different widgets up there. But I put birthdays up there, so. But this is a way that so if you get a birthday text for me, it's because I intentionally wanted to remember it and I wanted to reach out to you and tell you happy birthday. And if you didn't get a birthday text from me, it's because you don't have it on Facebook. And that's not my fault. But I do, if you're an agent, when you onboard, you tell me your birthday, so I get notified through the company's onboarding system that it's Corey Alexander's birthday, text Corey Alexander. So I do care. I care so much that I go out of my way to create systems to help me care. That's my, okay, you'll get a text here in a week or so. I hope, I better, golly, I'm nervous now. So this is a cool little trick that I found about a year ago and I use a lot. Okay, so that's the first year. Questions, does that all make sense? You understand why the variation in communication, why the increased cadence of communication. They're talking a lot. You want to hit them up so that hopefully they just had a conversation that day and you can get a referral. So post-closing sequence after the first year. This is where you can start to automate it a little bit more. However, you still need the personal reach outs. So automated nurturing campaigns with permission, right? We didn't start that until they said, yes, add me. And there's a bunch of different tools. Talk about it here in a sec on another page. But you can start putting them in drip campaigns that go out monthly, quarterly, whatever it might be. You set those campaigns. And then quarterly contacts. So previously we touched them, I don't know what, 6 to 8 times in that first year. Now we're gonna kind of go back to 4 touches a year, approximately. And you can do this, birthday is one of them. That's an easy one. Anniversary date, home anniversary date is another one. So there's 2 touches throughout the year that are just already built in. And then the other times you just kind of want to try to spread out, but do it strategically so that you're hitting them across the year. If their birthday and their home anniversary are both in January, you got freaking 11 more months to figure something out. So don't just ignore them for 11 months and then text them again. And I learned this the hard way because about 2 years ago, I started my happy birthday thing to everyone because it's just impactful. No, not many people get texts, they get Facebook posts. And I had clients, after a year of doing that, I'd go to send them another happy birthday text and the last thing we said was, happy birthday, thanks Brett. And then it's happy birthday, thanks Brett. So you wanna also hit them with other things throughout the year so it's not just that. So calls, texts, voicemails, social media DMs absolutely count nowadays. If you follow, I would recommend following all of your clients on social media as they make posts. Don't just comment on the post, but send them a DM from that post and make a personal comment. Now it's an individual conversation, not a group conversation. That's as impactful as the text messages. I do this all the time where I'll start having DM conversations with my friend who I could just text, but we're having this conversation in Instagram, so I'm just gonna keep having it in Instagram. It's a conversation, exactly like a text or a phone call. So don't be afraid to sprinkle, you don't want it to be like every 3 months, Logan sends me a, hey, how's it going text. It's like first quarter, you get a phone call. Second quarter, you get a text. Third quarter, you get a happy birthday, whenever your birthday is. Fourth quarter, I'm gonna send you a DM on something, whatever it might be. But you can sprinkle those in throughout the quarter or throughout the year and it doesn't feel like it's a system. It doesn't feel automated or systematized. To them, it feels natural, but to you, you're checking boxes in your CRM to touch that person this quarter. Very important. Use social media as leverage. So I like to do this a bunch. Humans, we replace actual interaction with social media interaction. And so people will post stuff about their kids or their family or vacation or whatever. I do this all the time when I see someone vacationing. When I know they're back, I'll text them and say, saw your vacation, looked awesome. Now we're having a personal conversation about something they posted on social media. Because a lot of times it's like, what do you talk about? I haven't talked to Tiara in 3 months. What do I say to her? She just posted this thing. That's what I'm gonna say. How cool is that? Was so cool. I'm jealous. What did you think? I'm going there in January. Whatever. It's you take what they're doing on social media and then have a personal conversation with it in their text. So use social media as leverage as what to talk about. So follow your clients, follow your sphere of influence, all that stuff, and use what they post on social to create individual conversations. And then lastly, reward referrals. So the quickest way to never get another referral is to not make a huge deal out of the referral that you got from that person. They can do the math. They know how much money you're gonna make when they sell houses. Everyone, the cat's out of the bag, realtors are overpaid. So buy them something, give them something. I'd say the referral gift should be just in line with a closing gift. I think it should be the exact same thing. So that 0.04%, if someone gives you a referral, I'd give them, maybe 0.02%, maybe, half it. But give them, yeah, it can't be tied to a closing and it can't be dependent on closing. So if you just give me a referral, I can say, thank you, here's a gift card to Starbucks. Now, if I said, thank you, when this closes, I'll give you 0.02% of the commission, that's illegal. Or I won't give you a gift card until it closes, that's illegal as well. But you can give gifts for referrals. It just can't be tied to the closing. Can't be contingent on a closing, yeah.
You're also not supposed to do things like say, if you send me a referral, I'll give you a $25 gift card, right?
You can.
You can do that?
Yeah.
So you can just tell them, okay,
There used to be a law that it can't be over a certain dollar amount, but that changed in the last 5 years are a blur, 23 maybe, 22. So now, whenever OREC changed the rule, there was an influx of people, like a giveaway. Like if you send me a referral in the month of March, you'll be entered in to win a drawing for a TV or something. iPad, a lot of people were giving away iPads, I saw. So it just can't be tied to a transaction. If someone plans on doing something like that, get with me first. Let's make sure we're not crossing any lines, but it is, you can pay for a referral, yeah.
Can you just say thank you for the referral and then after it closes, actually give them the money?
Can.
You just can't say,
Yeah, I mean, no one's gonna track you down for that. But I think it's more impactful because you want to reward the activity, not the result. Sure, they didn't close, but I want you to send me more people because if you send me someone else, so reward the activity, not the result. So, but huge deal. Got to make a huge deal of it. Anyone who sends you more than one deal a year, or someone who's sent you one deal a year forever, like take those people out to lunch, several times a year. Take their spouse and them or their family out to dinner once a year, something big. It's a huge deal. I mean, that is the lifeblood. The $150 you spend on them buying them dinner is better than spending $3 grand on Zillow leads or some other stuff, right? This is lead generation. This is marketing, especially in Oklahoma. Like 2 degrees of separation from everyone. So you want referrals.
Brett, about 40 years ago, I was a barber before social media. And one thing about that communication and keeping that touch is I would write notes at the end of every haircut. His little girl's having a birthday party next week. His wife's having surgery, blah, blah, blah. The next time he comes in for that trim or whatever, I say, hey, I pull that card.
Yep.
So how was your daughter's birthday party? How was your wife's surgery? Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Because not everybody's on social media.
Yeah.
So I do encourage any way you keep notes for that client.
Yeah.
Anything they tell you know personally about them, write a note so the next time you talk to them, you can ask them, how did that go? And I can't tell you how many people are really appreciative.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She actually remembered that? Well, I didn't, but
I wrote it down.
Not enough to write.
I care enough to write it down. That's exactly right. That's exactly what I do for FSBOs or anyone is, after you have an engagement with someone or you have a conversation with someone, just brain dump everything out of that conversation. And if you write everything down and always tell the truth, you never have to remember anything. That's something I learned. So you don't have to remember, shoot, what did I tell you? So CRMs have notes you can plug in, all kinds of stuff. Note cards, whatever. I saw Logan calling people off note cards earlier. So whatever it is, absolutely. Spouses' names, kids' names, dogs' names, the age of the dog, all that. Like anything that is relevant to a future conversation is going to be valuable. That's, yeah, very, very much. So reward the referrals. Gift cards are easy. Closing gifts are easy. Going out to dinner, lunch, whatever, all that stuff's easy, but just make sure that you reward them. Okay, so this is the last slide, and so this is kind of about automating and systematizing. So a little thing about automating and systematizing, it sounds weird, is it costs money. If you have no money and all the time in the world, then don't spend money on this stuff. If you have a bunch of deals and extra money to spend on marketing, spend money on this stuff. But one's not better than the other. Actually, one is better. Calling them all yourself each month or each quarter is significantly better than sending gifts that are branded with your marketing. However, as you scale and as you get to a point where you're doing 20, 30, 40 deals a year for 5 to 10 years, you want to systematize and automate these things for yourself. So, a couple things. CRM, Everyone here is given Lofty. If you want it, you are given Lofty. If you don't have it yet and you want it, ask me, but you are given it. So you can load tasks and campaigns in there, so it will actually send emails with home evaluations and stuff, but then you can load tasks into it so that every February 4th, it'll send you a notification that says, hey, don't forget to text Cindy, it's her anniversary or whatever. So you can load tasks for yourself as well as automations. So use that. Fellow is a seller prospecting tool that sends seller-specific data, property-specific data to sellers over time. It was designed specifically with people with large databases to nurture for future sellers. So very specific. HomeBot, very similar product. It's gonna be very seller-specific, equity-specific, market-specific for the seller, and it sends them stuff to prompt them to sell. Here's how much equity you have. Here's what you could get if you sold it. Here's what, it's moving them into the sale bucket. So there's plenty of, if you just Google CRMs or seller-specific CRMs, there's a bunch of them out there. You get this one for free, so I would recommend trying it first. But use the CRMs to automate these things. Again, get permission before you load anyone into them. I think it's gonna be more impactful. But this is, once you go beyond year one, they're likely gonna live there for 5 to 7 years. So you gotta put them on a set it and forget it type process, as well as your quarterly touches. They have to be in conjunction with each other. I found 2 companies as well that do a pretty cool job of future gifts. And so Resonate is the one I was talking about. They do closing gifts, but they also have a program where you can send 7 gifts across 24 months, 18 or 24 months for $390. So at closing, you pay $390. That gets you a closing gift and 6 more gifts across 18 months. And they're just kind of random anniversary. It's every 4 months they're gonna get. So it's a little more than every quarter, but they're gonna get, you're gonna get a cutting board, some coasters, some fancy popcorn, some ice cream scoopers, there's 50 things you can throw into this little bucket that they get over time. So it's another way that they're gonna get branded stuff with you. This is another one that's kind of more print marketing. This is gifts and this is print marketing. So this is called the Personal Marketing Co. And it has 21 mail outs over a 5-year period. So you get a magazine twice a year, magazine twice a year, 1 thank you mailer right away, 10 branded magazines across 5 years, and 10 personalized postcards across 5 years. Different messaging, different personalities. As it gets closer to that 5-year, it's more seller specific, more prompting them. And this is for $48, which I thought was really good. So I was referred to this customer, I have not used them. I put myself on it to test it, what everything looks like and what the branding looks like. And so I'll be getting my own thank you card here in the next day or 2, hopefully. I'll let you know how it goes. But I'll send myself a gift. Yeah. Be nice to yourself, that's right. You gotta remember to take care of number 1. Should tell my wife that. I don't know the frequency of it. It's 10 magazines across 5 years. So I think it's like every fall and spring, you get a magazine in the spring, magazine in the fall. And then you get a postcard in the winter and the summer, and then you get 1 thank you card initially. So it probably is every quarter, if I had to guess. Something like that, around there. But it's like full-on magazines with 6 different articles, tips, tricks, blah, 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 all that junk, branded with your name, your information, your brokerage's stuff. So it's pretty cool tool. I haven't seen them, the quality of them. If they're just, this company, okay, you like them? Rock and roll. There you go. So $48 is a very low cost to stay in front of someone because they can't unsubscribe from it. It's mail. It comes to them, and if they move, there's a forwarding address. So it's your face and your brand and your name for 5 years. It's pretty great. So even if you forgot to call them, they're still going to get hit with you a couple times a year. So cool tool. And then this one's a little more impactful just because it's stuff you might actually use around the house. Again, it becomes functional and what was the last one I said? Decorative. Yes, functional and decorative. These things they're pretty. So. Yeah, the knives and stuff. Yeah, Cutco was real popular for a while. I haven't seen a lot recently, but yeah, they've got engraved in there. So again, these are just links to go check all these out. just different opportunities. Again, I would say Lofty's free, use it first. There's a lot of customization in that, but these other ones, I'm testing both of these other ones myself as well to kind of see if one's better or worse or what. So, but this is kind of how you start to systematize and automate your closing and your post-closing free contacts. Now again, nothing is going to replace these quarterly contacts. They have to be personal contacts, but systematize them in your CRM so you're reminded. Systematize them on your phone so you know when to reach out to them. You create these things and then you're just prompted to do all this stuff. And it's much easier than like, oh crap, I didn't call any clients this month or any past clients, shoot. Or cram them all the last day of the month and just reach out to everyone you have to that month, right? Figure out your system or your process. But this is ways you can set it and forget it. And then the CRM reminds you when you need to do stuff because it can send notifications, reminders to you as well. And I believe you get notified each time this goes out. Do you get notified whenever this goes out? I think you get an email. Yeah, okay. I think I got an email saying your postcard has been mailed. So you'll know when they're receiving stuff and you can time your reach outs, space them or accordingly, yeah, either in between them or hit them right after and they're like, oh my gosh, I love the cup, the coasters, that was so cool. Oh my gosh, you're welcome, I love them. I saw them and I had to get them for you. So use these things, systematize it, create processes around these conversations. Again, I'm not a terribly, I don't know. I have to build systems around myself, around these processes so that I can remember to do because they're so impactful. They're huge. Again, your past clients should get you as much deals as any active prospecting you're getting if you're taking care of them properly. So this is just different ways you can do that. So that's all I had. Any questions about anything? Recommendations? Anyone try anything or doing anything like this?